Well, first at 4, it's the Low Country case. It's got the nation's attention even 5 years after it started. Now Alec Murdaugh headed back to court next week.
The convicted murderer is preparing for a new trial, trying to prove his innocence. And now his lawyers say the only way he gets a fair trial is to move it out of Colleton County. Murdaugh's team filing a motion this week to move the retrial out of the 14th Judicial Circuit. They say the media coverage over the years and public discussion makes it impossible to find an impartial jury in Colleton County or any neighboring counties, which includes Beaufort and Jasper County. The defense also wants more tests on DNA samples found under Maggie Murdaugh's fingernails. SLED determined that the DNA belonged to an unknown and unrelated male, but it did not do more testing. Now, Murdaugh's attorneys are not saying the DNA may be the killer's, but they are asking for independent tests to be done. Murdaugh is expected to be at a hearing Monday morning in Lexington County as the court works to schedule a potential retrial.
Now, 11 days after a shooting at a Claxton establishment left one person dead, the business remains closed. WSAV's Evan Smoke has more on what happened in the aftermath. Now the owners are trying to move forward.
In the days following the fatal shooting here at the Creole Restaurant and Bar, its owners are saying the business was shut down due to code violations. Shots rang out at approximately 2:29 a.m. on June 14th in a large crowd that was still gathered 2 hours after closing. Javion Yeomans was later arrested on charges including felony murder for shooting and killing Jamari Johnson that night. Following the incident, the establishment was served with a notice to shut down due to code violations. Evans County Sheriff Mac Edwards tells WSAV this notice came from a state agency, but owners believe it's targeted due to the incident.
The key thing is here is got so much money and trapped up in this business here and everything, and then they come and shut the place down and saying that the fire marshal told them to shut it down, that they want up to code it. But the previous owner that was here was Iron Eagles. Everything was coded. There wasn't no problem. There wasn't no incident there with them. And there wasn't no incident here to fortunately from that night.
Business owners say they hope to submit the updated blueprints to the state fire marshal tomorrow and reopen their business as soon as possible. Reporting from Claxton, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
And a Chatham County grand jury has handed down indictments in several different high-profile shootings. A grand jury indicted Derek Johnson in connection to a shooting that led to the deaths of 2 people on Truman Parkway back in 2023. Johnson now charged with 2 counts of malice and felony murder, as well as aggravated assault and concealing a death, aggravated family violence, and possession of a firearm during a felony. He was actually arrested in Florida 2 days after the shooting. And the grand jury also indicted Devin Green Sr. in connection to a shooting on Ogeechee Road back in April. That one injured 1 person. Now Green charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during a felony, as well as possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
We are working to learn more about a deadly plane crash that happened last night in Tatnall County. The crash happened just before 6 on Highway 144 in Glenville. Officials have identified the victim as Tony Zorn of Lyons. He was the pilot of that aircraft and the only person on board. Federal Aviation Administration investigators tell WSAV they are trying to determine if the plane involved was a registered aircraft or an unregistered ultra-light vehicle. We will keep you updated on air and online once we receive additional information.
We've learned a man killed in an officer-involved shooting on Victory Drive this week was wanted on a warrant for probation violations at the time. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says 2 officers approached 35-year-old Nicholas Oxendine on Tuesday for loitering near a closed business. We're told that Oxendine then attacked one of the officers. The second officer actually shot him, and he later died from those injuries. Records show that Oxendine had a very long list of prior arrests and convictions dating back to 2008. Those include burglary, theft, trespassing, as well as multiple probation violations. Most recent warrant for his arrest issued on June 8th. Now the GBI leading the investigation into this shooting.
Meanwhile, we are still waiting to see what, if any, action the Chatham County District Attorney will take after a deadly officer-involved shooting along River Street earlier this year. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says on January 22nd, officers responded to reports of a man later identified as Mark Whibby, waving a gun and shoplifting from a business near West Congress Street and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. GBI says officers confronted Whibby along River Street and told him to drop his gun, but he did not comply and continued walking towards people near River Street. That is when officers opened fire, killing him. The GBI handed its final report on the incident to the Chatham County District Attorney's Office on April 14th. We've reached out to DA Shalina Jones for an update. In a statement, her office says the case is currently in review by the district attorney. No further comment will be made at this time.
Savannah State University on a partial lockdown earlier today after a vehicle pursuit involving Georgia State Patrol. Right now, though, details are still very limited. Here's what we know so far. According to the university, a suspect abandoned a vehicle, fled on foot, and then entered campus. Officials say that situation was contained near the Jasmine Gate on Jasmine Avenue. All campus operations were able to resume as normal around 1:30 this afternoon. The suspect spotted swimming near Sylvan Island next to Thunderbolt this afternoon. He's described as a white man wearing a maroon shirt with light-colored pants. He may be covered in mud and may also be barefoot. If you see anyone matching this description, call 911.
Happening now, the Savannah City Council meeting to tackle some important issues. Among other things, council members are set to vote on a contract for airport construction and expansion, as well as authorization for a land transfer to develop affordable housing on East 38th Street. They're also looking at an exemption that would allow Savannah's museums to sell alcohol on Sundays. WSAV's Tyler Nicole is at that meeting and will have an update on what council decides in our later newscasts.
We have officially collected more than 1 ton of food in this year's Schools Out Summer Food Drive, working with Second Harvest of Coastal Georgia and Food Lion to make sure that no student goes without something to eat this summer. Well, today is our finale, and we're definitely hoping to finish strong. Our own Sarah Smith joins us now live from the Food Lion on Duren right here in Savannah. So we're going to help wrap up this year's campaign. Sarah, I hope it's going great.
Absolutely, Andrew. We've had a great turnout today, a nice steady stream of donations for the 6th and final stop of our 2026 Schools Out Summer benefiting Second Harvest of Coastal Georgia. Today, we collected around 2,100 pounds of food items, and we've certainly seen that number go up. Take a look at some of the donations we've received. You see some of these boxes down here. All of that, I'll kind of open it up for you guys. All of that is full of donations. A group of ladies came in and they said they bought 2 of everything, so generous. And we want to remind you of some of the items that we are asking for. Really easy to open items for children. We're focusing on things you see on the table here: applesauce, fruit cups, crackers, individual cups of vegetables, canned soup and tuna or chicken, preferably with pop tops for easy opening, cereal bars, cereal or oatmeal in individual packs, heat and eat pasta or noodles and sauce in plastic containers, peanut butter and jelly, ramen noodles, or heat and eat rice. And you can find a complete list of all of those items at wsav.com/food drive. And you certainly still have time to come down to the Food Lion on East Duren Avenue, or you can get out your phone right now and scan the QR code on your screen, and you can make a monetary donation to Second Harvest of Coastal Georgia. And so that leads me to bring in Stephanie Brown. She is the marketing and communications director at Second Harvest. So tell me, these monetary donations, how far will they go?
Yeah, for every dollar we can provide 5 meals, so money goes a really long way for us. We've got some awesome purchasing power, and with all these donations it all helps.
And so talk about, how special it is to see so many people coming in. We just saw a man bring like 8 bags and put them into these boxes. Many of them were not full this morning when I was here at 11 o'clock. So how special is that to see people donating?
It's really heartwarming to see the community come out and support the children, knowing that they're out of school for the summer and they want the kids to have a good summer and stay fed over the summer. So we just love seeing all the community, all the neighbors coming out and giving us some donations.
Stephanie Brown, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you in a little bit. Now, with just over 2 hours before we wrap up, cash donations may be the easiest way to go for our viewers to support our food drive. Once again, you can scan that QR code there on your screen, and we'll have much more coming up from the finale in just a little bit. But for now, live in Savannah, I'm Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3 on your side.